sports fans. It's time for the Unnamed Sports Show with your host, Joshua Griffith.
Thank you for that kind introduction to the voice of the Vancouver Whitecaps, Mr. Don Andrews. As he said, I am your host, Joshua Griffith, and this is the Unnamed Sports Show here on the Sports Talkline Network. So I am thrilled to be joined now by a huge Chiefs fan and accidental insider, Katie Camlin. Katie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It still like blows my mind that people want to talk to me, so it's cool.
So obviously we both had a bit of a COVID scare, but you're doing good, and my dad got his negative test back. So
Yay!
Are you feeling better and doing healthy, ready for the weekend?
Yeah, I don't really know what it was and if it was partially anxiety, but I just felt crappy all weekend and, had to do the right thing and stay home from work. But 2 negative tests, lots of sleep, feeling good. So we're getting all the beer ready in the store for the weekend. It's just stacks to the ceiling of beer.
Fantastic. So you might be the biggest Chiefs fan I know, and I want to know the story about how you became such a huge football and Chiefs fan in general.
Yeah. So, I've lived in Kansas City my entire life. I do have this picture at my parents' house of me like in a little Chiefs cheerleading uniform when I'm like a couple years old. What's funny is my first Chiefs game, I hated it because I was really young and it was loud and I think I got beer spilled on me and I did not have a good time when I was little. But we grew up watching the games at the house, and just always kind of accepting that we would lose in the playoffs. That was kind of like the thing that you would always come to expect. And then, around college, sort of after college, I started getting more and more into football. I started watching, other NFL games, got into fantasy football. And so it kind of just kept increasing as I got older. And then, so I've seen a lot of tough losses. I've seen a lot of tough seasons. But I've also seen some awesome players that we've had, and it's just cool to watch the team grow over time. And now we're here and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And last season as well. And we're just over a year since the Super Bowl victory by the Chiefs. I gotta ask, what is this fork that I'm seeing and you're posting about, and it's some kind of lucky omen?
Yeah, so we always kind of just keep it chill for like watching football games. My boyfriend and I will go see our two best and a couple at their place, and we'll usually make some food. And so last year for the playoffs, we were having like little Smokies. I don't know if this is a regional name, but the little like hot dogs in the barbecue sauce. So we were eating those, and it's horrifying now to think of the COVID world, but we had one fork and we would just load up the fork with 4 Smokies and pass it around the room. Again, horrifying now in today's COVID climate. So my boyfriend Colin he ended up being the last one every time in the rotation. And this was, I think, the game against the Texans where things were going really badly for us. And so things were kind of going bad. We were stressing out. We were stress eating Smokies. And he just kind of absentmindedly held on to the fork because we were really intensely into the game. Well, and that was when things started to turn around. And so we kind of laughed at him. We're like, "You've been holding this fork that whole time?" And he's like, "I guess I have." And we were like, "That's it. It's magic." So it was kind of like a joke. But so during the AFC Championship game, we made him hold it the whole time. And then we won that game, and then we made him hold it for the whole Super Bowl. So it kind of became like it's definitely a joke, but we're also like probably pretty superstitious about it. But he held this fork the whole time, and so we kind of joked that that's why we won, because of this one fork, because he never let it go.
Well, if superstitious and football fans kind of go hand in hand. Just look at the Bills Mafia, which you guys were able to get past last week, which was just a great game to watch.
Oh, so fun. And all the Bills fans were so nice. A lot of them came shopping at Plaza Liquor, and they sold me out of Labatt Blue. So if I know better next time to order a bunch more, but everyone was so sweet. And I was just really excited for that game because their team is so good. And I don't know, I was happy for them and being in the playoffs. Like, I wouldn't have been upset either way, honestly. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but like, if we had to lose to somebody, I wouldn't mind it being the Bills.
No, it's fine, because I was going to say I wore red today in honor of the team I'm cheering for.
Very nice.
And they're both red. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. So Yeah, exactly. So, so I want to get into the Super Bowl a bit more later, but I want to ask things off. I totally need to hear about this whirlwind and you scooping Adam Schefter on the Mahomes signing.
Yeah, so it's been, I mean, obviously 2020 was a crazy year. I had a job at another brewery and I was furloughed, which happened to a lot of people. And so I found this job at Plaza Liquor, this like nice liquor store downtown KC in May. And so I started at the end of May as the beer manager. So this happened, I don't remember the exact date, which I really should. I think it might have been July 6th or 7th. It was right after 4th of July weekend. And so I kind of partied over the weekend, like safely outside, but I had a lot to drink. And sometimes with hangovers for me, I found myself feeling a little more anxious or like just a little like emotionally off. And so I go into work. It's a long day on Monday. I come in and my boss pulls me aside and is like, hey. And so this is a thing, it really got conflated in like the news and the hype, but I wasn't actually there when the Chiefs people came shopping. And that was kind of something that just like kind of got blown out of proportion and paraphrased. But my boss told me that the Chiefs personnel had just been in and they were looking for 6 bottles of Dom Perignon. And we were like, oh my God, like, what's going to happen? What does that mean? And we, you know, my boss tried to fish it out of the guy and was like, is there a signing? And so the guy ended up saying, well, yeah, it's a big signing. It's not Chris Jones. And so we were like, it's Mahomes. And so I just pulled out my phone. At this point, I had like a decent Kansas City following, like 2,000 some followers on Twitter, which is still a lot. And so I just tweeted like, hey, the Chiefs were in here looking for Dom. They said it's not Chris Jones. So my guess is Patrick Mahomes. And I hit send and I didn't really think anything of it. And then it just started to take off and our local sports radio was talking about it. And that's when I was like, oh no, what have I done? Because I have this weird mindset that I was like, is it going to be that much of a surprise when we sign Mahomes? Like, obviously, we just won a Super Bowl. We're going to keep the guy. Yeah. So I had some twisted, like, I didn't think it was a big deal in my head, I guess. And then the tweet started getting a lot of traction, and I was like, oh, my God, this is a big deal. And then I started worrying about, like, you know, that's maybe bad, like, customer service to go blabbing. I didn't want the Chiefs to stop shopping with us. And so I just kind of started freaking out. And so I deleted the tweet. And then people were still tagging me in screenshots, you know, still like mentioning me. And I was like, stop it, let it go. And then around, I think like 2 o'clock, Schefter tweeted the news. And I was like, oh, we were right. Haha. And
wait,
then,
how do I retrieve that and put it back?
Right. I said something like, told you guys or something like that, but I was just kind of like, oh, that was funny. And that's when just like things went crazy. People started tagging me in Adam Schefter's tweet, like, no, we already knew this 2 hours ago. Like Katie said so. And it just like, just ramped up from there. And then I had like, it was honestly a really stressful day because I had like local news crews literally just coming into the store, like, where's she at? I had like newspapers on the phone. USA Today was calling, like people were calling the store and coming in the door. And I was just like, oh my God, what happened? Like, it was just too much.
Holy smokes. That, like, I mean, I referenced it as a whirlwind because I knew that we talked shortly after and I was trying to get you to join me here on the show, but you're like, oh, I am floored. I'm swamped. I
was like so overwhelmed.
and I can imagine, sorry, from your, from the business perspective too, like they're just like, oh, we're getting just cameras, news cameras and crews and
I was still like worried that I was going to be in trouble. Like I was still basically like a month and some change into this job. And I don't know, like I just was worrying and it sounds silly to be like, oh, all this attention was overwhelming, but it really was stressful that first day because I didn't know if anyone was going to be, ticked off or I don't know. It was just a lot. That's how I would describe it, as a lot.
Well, it's kind of led to some cool experiences for you. It
Yeah.
seems. What has been the coolest thing that you've done? And don't say my show too quickly, because it's probably not even the coolest thing that you've done today. So
I'm off today. I mean, I played some Fallout New Vegas on my computer and went to the grocery store. So I mean, this is the coolest thing I've done today. But
so but you know, like, well, yeah, what's something that you were just like, wow, like this is, looking back at it, this is an amazing experience.
filming the little skit for NFL Sunday Countdown.
That was cool.
Just wild. Because first, like, the Chiefs contacted me and we did a little social media video where we kind of pretended that we were breaking the Chris Jones signing. That was when they signed him, and that was really cool. And Chris Jones like tweeted at me, and the Chiefs shared this video of me. And up to that point, I was like, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened. And then these guys from ESPN contacted me about doing a skit on Sunday Countdown. And I was just like, what? I was like, I guess, well, how can you say no, right?
Yeah.
So, we had a professional film crew. And this was after I had talked to Adam Schefter on the phone. Again, I say that casually, like it's not a big deal. Holy crap.
No big deal.
But we had like a little interview for his podcast. And so the skit was kind of about that, about like me and Adam and how that day went. And so just to like really have fun with it and ham it up and just like be with a professional film crew, really, really cool. And then like seeing myself on like NFL Sunday Countdown, like on the screen, Adam Schefter's on there talking, he's saying my name, and it's just like, it's unbelievable. So that was probably the coolest thing ever. That was just insane.
Yes, I remember seeing that. I didn't get to catch it live, but I saw it right after, and actually I was watching it back again last night in preparation of it because it was a neat little skit.
What's funny is I'm so tired of watching it because my boss showed it to like every single like friend, every single like salesman that came into the store for like 2 weeks. So I've heard it so many times.
I bet. Yeah, you probably have it memorized. Did you play a lot of sports growing up?
No.
No?
So I am not athletic at all. I ran like a couple years ago. I got into running half marathons and I like exercising, but I am not coordinated or fast. I've never been an athlete, which is kind of funny. But I love watching it.
I am not fast or big or strong, but I was an athlete. I don't know how that worked out. I actually played football too, so that's
nice.
that's a weird one.
I'm like 5'2", just no physical prowess here.
Well, now you're on the other side of the game, right? So you're in that accidental insider, even may it be. So I'm joined here now by Katie Camlin on the Unnamed Sports Show. Couldn't have you on without talking about the Super Bowl. What a great matchup we have. We got the GOAT Tom Brady. We have the kid Patrick Mahomes. That's
so cute. I love that narrative. It's so cute.
I can't say that I'm the first one to come up with it, but I love it too. I'm going to use it as much as I can. So what do you see in this Sunday, February 7th?
Stress. Because I mean, Tom Brady literally just went, I picked that team. Do you guys want to go to a Super Bowl? Like, what the man has done is unbelievable. And as much as I want to hate him, like, he's good. He's, arguably the greatest of all time. And it's scary to go up against him, especially because he just seems to always he's kind of like magic. He always somehow makes it work. So I'm definitely nervous for that offense, and their defense is very scary as well. So I think it's going to be exciting. I'm probably going to be very stressed.
Yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul and Nakamade Sue, they definitely bring it on the line. So Mahomes is going to be running a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm already stressed.
Okay, well, I need some keys to the game. I won't ask you for a prediction, so don't worry. But what are some keys for you?
That's good because like number predictions really stress me out. I actually kind of think it's going to be a very defensive game. I know that I would love to see like an offensive shootout because obviously that's fun, but I think the key is going to be, covering Tom Brady's targets because he's got a wealth of targets. He's got Gronk, he's got Mike Evans. They've got so many people they can get the ball to. And I think they're probably going to be pressuring us pretty good. So I think we're going to have to maybe make some use of the run game or, make sure we get the ball off quickly. Again, I am not a sports analyst. I'm a sports fan. So I'm trying to sound professional.
Well, you're doing a better job than I normally sound on my own show. So,
but yeah, my prediction is probably going to be defense heavy. And that's to be, because both of these offenses are pretty killer. I don't know. Nervous.
Yeah, well, it's going to be either way. It's going to be a good game. But it wouldn't be the Super Bowl without beer. And I don't think that I could have you on. I was going to talk to you about beer a little bit, but then I saw your tweet when you were sick and you're like, oh, is my beer out of stock? Are they missing me? I was like, okay, I need to talk to her about beer now. Might not have the same selections. I'm up here in Canada in British Columbia, but the company here that I work for, Sports Talkline, is based out of LA, and we got lots of audience in the States. So what are going to be some of your go-to beers for the Super Bowl this weekend?
So one thing I know that's widely distributed, you might have seen when I posted my little mini keg of Hop Slam from Bell's. Now that one is not a light beer. It's 10%. It's a nice big IPA. I'm resisting the urge to get another mini keg. I probably don't need that. But that one was really fun for the AFC Championship. I've been kind of doing a partnership at my store with Cigar-City Brewing. They're out of Tampa. So very appropriate. They've got a beer called Florida Man, which again, I think is hilarious and very appropriate.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of going with, honestly, like lighter fare, kind of for the long haul. So I like a good like Mexican lager. We've got a local one made by a place called Stockyards. But as far as the big name ones, I actually dig a Pacifico and a Modelo. Both of those are great, like kind of just sipping kind of long-term beers. But definitely going to pick up some Cigar-City kind of for fun.
We have Modelo's up here in Canada, so
perfect.
You can definitely enjoy some of those. I was going to say feel free to plug any beers you wanted to, but you did that, so that's fantastic. You're getting pretty professional at this. You already know the game.
I just really like talking about beer, honestly.
Were you? Did you do your beer podcast? I saw you were going to go on one. Have you done that already? So
here at 3, I'm going to be talking my top 5 favorite Kansas City beers. And I'm still, the list isn't even done yet because I'm still trying to decide. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh, that's really cool. Well, hopefully, your beer is all restocked now for the Super Bowl. And they didn't miss you too much.
Things looked pretty good. Everybody at the store kept it in order.
Oh, good. Sounds like you run a tight ship as the beer manager.
That's right. I'm the only girl there too, full time. So, gotta whip the boys into shape.
Absolutely. So, status of the fork for Sunday, is it ready to go?
Yeah. So it's actually at our friend's house right now. But we put it in a little shadow box. So
yes.
In a frame with a backdrop, and it sits next to the TV when we watch. So it's ready.
That's fantastic. Okay, well, Katie, I know that you are super busy. Like you said, you have another beer podcast to talk about, and you have to finish your list. So I will let you go for today. But awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and good luck with the rest of your media foray this week.
Thank you.
Well, that has been Katie Camlin. So thank you very much for joining me.